It says we're live, but no one can see us. But the countdown is
Hello,
live.
hello, hello,
What is StreamYard doing?
hello.
The people want to see us.
You didn't know Birdo was gonna drop a bar on you.
No, hell no.
Oh man.
Oh, it's coming. Look at this. What is StreamYard doing, man?
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun.
That was on cue. What is going on, everybody? Wednesday night, 9:20 p.m. Eastern time. We're sorry for the delay, but StreamYard was StreamYarding. As you can tell, that wasn't supposed to go like that. So we don't know what the hell happened, but we're happy that you're here for another episode with your boys reporting eligible live, man. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in this evening. While I have you guys all on here, just take a quick second to let you guys know that the super chats are alive and well, and we're looking for any donations if you kindly would want to throw our way. We are using that for a free jersey giveaway. We're going to announce the winner during the Falcons bye week, week 5. And the way to enter the contest is go to at Dirty Bird Central or at 95 North Falcons Talk Show and comment under a recent video that we just did, and also be subscribed to the platform. We'll be doing our thing in terms of picking who the winner is. We got you covered. So fret not. We got you covered, like I just mentioned. So yes, it'll be a free jersey giveaway, the player of your choosing, color of your choosing, and we'll bless y'all with that. But no more of that. Bro talk. What is going on? How you been, man?
Allergy season, man. Killing me today. Is probably the best I felt all day. Week 1, a little disappointing. But we're on to week 2, and we saw that our opponents, the guys they're glazing, the NFC player of the week, is very beatable. So
on 154 yards or whatever the hell he had.
And a pick 6. Hey, he scored more than one touchdown. It just wasn't for his team.
Yeah, dude, one thing for sure, the media will always control the narrative on who they want.
Always.
It sucks.
Bro,
but
NFL Twitter's header right now is JJ McCarthy.
They're piping him up, man. 22-year-old quarterback, man. Finally seeing some action after missing a year. Come on. Of course. It's a feel-good story. That's what the NFL engine is all about.
Whatever,
but we're all about our chat and thanking the chat for being here this evening. So quick roll call. Knuckles MMA, what is going on, buddy? D. Lawton, what's going on, brother? Jason Roberts, what's happening? The lovely Miss Lisa Shepard is in the house. Rod is in here. Eric, Jarrett Talk, Southside Ricky. Our guy Michael is in the house. Justin Swisher Sweets, what's happening, man? What's going on, brother? Yes, it is a must win. Bro Talk, I'm going to need you to come down to reality.
Listen. Everyone's perspective of reality is different. My reality is this is a winnable game coming week 2. Your reality may be the Falcons suck. Hey, I disagree with you. You disagree with me. That's fine. We share our own different views.
We got to find middle ground. We need peace in the world.
Yeah, we do.
That's for sure. Jared Talks, what's going on, man? My guy Brendan James, what's happening, bro? All the way from the backyard here in Rhode Island. Rose, what's going on? Craig, Cuckoo. Yeah, man, it might be time is up in Atlanta. As we all know, John Parker Roma was brought in and kicker competition. So we'll see as the week goes on what the Falcons elect to do for Sunday night's matchup. But like we mentioned, quick recap from Sunday's season opener at the Benz, an unfortunate loss and a very winnable game for our Atlanta Falcons. So let's drop this one 23-20 to the rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a game that the Falcons didn't look that bad. They didn't look bad, right? It's weird to say, oh, we didn't look bad. Usually if we lose, it's like, oh, what the hell? We suck. There's much praise to go around, especially with the defense, the young secondary, James Pierce Jr., the one blunder of it all, I think we all synonymously can agree, Zach Robinson, sir, you need to wake up. You are an NFL offensive coordinator. So you're not in Pee Wee. You got to learn how to get out of your own way, sir. But to that, what did you feel coming out of the game? Well, how do you feel right now coming out of that Tampa Bay loss?
I mean, no one likes to hear about moral victories, right? Because at the end of the
True.
day, you want the win column to have a number and the loss column to have a 0 after week 1. I get it. But if you watch the game, you like what you saw defensively. The building blocks are there. Were they perfect? No.
Ooh.
No. There were a couple blown assignments, right? At the end, one that Baker missed on Kate Otten. Things like that.
Yeah.
It's week 1 with a new unit. But overall, the reason Baker held the ball so long is because his first and second reads were taken away so quickly, and that allowed the pressure to get to him because we blitzed, 30%, 35%, which was
40%.
We blitzed 40%. So, and we got pressure 41% of the time. So that we were 29th last year in blitz rate. That is 10th right now in the league. Ulbrich is bringing heat, especially with the makeshift offensive line, right?
Yeah.
You can expect that, right? You saw guys that were on the practice squad for the Bears beating out the guy that's playing in for Christian Darrisaw, right? So if he's not there, the same thing can happen. So you like what you saw. Divine Diablo, right? Everyone questions the signing. God. It's only week 1. It's only 1 week, but you like what you saw a lot. Dude's a freaking cannonball blitzing. Run fitting really well. In coverage, able to get depth.
Mike Evans.
One of the plays that we're going to cover would require Divine Diablo to cover Aaron Jones a la the touchdown. That's something he can do.
Yep. And do very effectively, man. Because we saw in that Mike Evans, that man was in a territory no linebacker deserves to be in, other than maybe Fred Warner, because the depth on his coverage was unbelievable.
Right. And that's all instinctual because he saw Mike Evans run deep, whether that was a post, a go. He knew he had to get depth, right? And as soon as he turned around, he saw Baker, what they call breaking the egg, release his arm from the ball. He's getting ready to wind up. And so he's just drifting with his eyes. Hey, almost came away with an interception. It was a turnover-worthy play. That's the good. The bad, offensively,
oh, boy.
It just felt like there was no flow, right?
No.
We've been known to be this run-first team, and we couldn't get it going. Now, the positive thing with the run game is you saw more gap scheme. Right? You saw Lindstrom pulled a few times with Charlie Warner coming along with him. You saw Pitts and Charlie Warner both pulling. Pitts supposed to be inserting. It's just, it wasn't cohesive, right? You have a new center. Yes, you played with them last year, but they're adding plays, right? You have a new right tackle. You don't have your starter. The guy that's sandwiched in normally between Chris and Charlie is a new guy. Not as good as the guy that we lost to injury. Not even good as the backup to the guy that's not here, right? We know Storm Norton, once he comes around, he's going to be the guy. But for the time being, Elijah Wilkinson.
He held his own, man.
He played okay. He didn't play great. He didn't play bad. He played okay. But we saw guys like Matthew Bergeron couldn't get any push on a 6-foot defensive tackle. They were winning the leverage battle, and it felt like they were getting off the ball. Like they knew the snap count, right? Yeah. And guys, spare me with the pistol formation thing. I get it. We're in it a lot, but Zach Robinson said it. Michael Penix is comfortable with it. He ran it in college. They're trying to do things. Now, what did we see week 1 to week 2 last year? Oh, no under center, no play action. And what did Zach Robinson said? Here you go. Like,
there you go.
Like, here, this is what you want
at quarterback now. So it's a tale of two seasons, really, when it boils down.
Right. So I think Zach will have a better game, but it felt like last year. Ooh, delivery already. Thank you.
It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
Protein muffin.
Banana, chocolate, peanut butter?
Protein.
Cupcake.
Jeez.
Muffin. No icing. No icing. Anyways,
wow.
It feels like last year from week 1 to week 2 where we should see an improvement offensively. The good for the offense as well, Bijan in space, right? Catching the ball, made that huge play on the third play of the game. And then Michael Penix, poised, got the ball out quick. He was taking what the defense gave him. Yes, absolutely. We want those deep shots for Michael Penix, but with no run game and Zach not calling any play action,
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to happen, right?
Yep.
It was straight dropbacks, and if it was play action, it was on the boot. And the edges for the Bucks were doing a good job getting upfield that would have to stop Mike, and he'd have to throw the ball. Mina Kimes said this best, and this is what I'm going to look for next week. The Chargers also didn't have an effective running game, but that didn't stop them from utilizing play action. And that's what allowed Justin Herbert had some big time throws.
He did.
And Michael Penix had, Justin Herbert's known for having a strong arm, right?
Yep.
Michael Penix has a strong arm. You have to run play action even without the run game, because the threat of Bijan or Tyler getting the ball is enough for any linebacker or secondary to take those two false steps and already be behind.
Yeah.
So
my thing with Zach was his inability to just like switch up scheme, like or just adjust within the game itself. Now, we knew going into this game, obviously Darnell Mooney wasn't going to be available. That probably tipped the hat to Todd Bowles and company. Okay, we're gonna eliminate Drake London, and they relatively kept him in check. 15 targets, 8 catches, 55 yards. But what that allowed Todd Bowles to do? All right, they were able to show fronts, loaded box, but Zach wasn't able to dial up anything. Like you mentioned, the play action would have been sweet in those in those predicaments, because the linebackers are crowding the line of scrimmage. One guy that I wish that he would have pivoted to more for more targets was Kyle Pitts, who came to life late third and in the fourth quarter. That's what you need to do in situations like that. You got to find a better way to spread the ball out. I felt like there was no creativity in the offense whatsoever. Running laterally, I felt like, and you alluded to it, it's predictable. I think last year, the blueprint in that, when you had Tyler Algier and Bijan in the backfield at the same time, or in that what do you call it? Pony set. Yep, the pony variation there. Kansas City sniffed that out, and they negated that right off the rip. It's the same play we did last year, and it didn't work. So what makes you think a full calendar year later it was going to have a different success, and it didn't? So that, for me, that's the biggest thing for me, was Zach's ability not to just pivot and just go to his other options.
And then
on offense.
to caveat on what you're saying is, like, if everyone saw it from last year, why not the first time you do it in that formation, run a naked boot away from it? Everyone's flowing that way.
Everybody's flowing. Exactly.
Either someone's wide open or Michael walks into the end zone.
Hello.
Now, I think we scored on that drive, but still, you made it harder than it needed to be.
Yeah. And here's another thing too, man. The Charlie Warner in motion on a wham, that has to stop. Because nine times out of 10, we do that play. We know we're running that side. Very rarely did we throw, Charlie in that set and ran a pass play off of that. It was run. Tampa Bay was just ready for it, man. Hence the reason why, Bijan and Tyler only combined for 48 yards, and Bijan only had 2.9 yards per carry, which is fucking asinine. This is Bijan Robinson, for God's sake.
This is supposed to be RB1, man. This is
supposed to be RB1, man. But where he faltered kind of brought light in an aspect that we kind of all wanted to see, and that's in the receiving game. 8 targets or 8 receptions, 100 yards. The most impressive one right off the gate, 50-yard touchdown pass from Penix to Bijan. That was beautiful. Hopefully in this next matchup versus the Vikings, who are coming into this game, a bit hobbled, especially at that linebacker spot, could Zach take advantage of that early and often? So it remains to be seen.
We'll see.
We'll definitely see, man. But here we go. Got to go into the chat right quick before we start diving into our video cut-ups. Let's see where we left off at. Definitely don't want to miss anybody that is in here. We certainly agree. Of course we agree with the chat, but we also love having you guys in here. John Brooks, what's going on? Smitty Sports Machine is in the house, man. Knocking off Rush. Pass rush was definitely there. Yeah, it was there. I think James Pierce Jr. finished with a total of 4 QB pressures, while 4 doesn't, jump out, but the kid got after it. He was active. And Rook Roro finished with an 18.1% pass rush ring weight from the interior. Relatively quiet, but he was winning his 1v1s, man.
He had a good game, but everyone just remembers the flop that Baker Mayfield did, and that's the penalty that got called. Initially, I thought he brought him down. I was like, Rook, what are you doing? And then I saw him let go,
Yeah,
He's already
yeah.
falling.
He's always
Yes.
falling. Yeah,
Did he clip Baker's foot? Yes, but Baker sold it really well.
he sure did. And these damn refs, man, they were like, pity patty on Sunday, man.
Oh my God.
Jim Babe says officially signing up to be the Falcons' new kicker.
Hey, the
Yeah,
tryouts are at Flowery Branch. Head on over.
head on over for sure, man. All right, so yeah, man. Let's dive right into it. So, of course, the matchup on Sunday versus the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota coming off a thrilling comeback victory Monday night versus the Chicago Bears. And, in a game where the Minnesota offense was held in check for what, 3 quarters, you would say, until that, yeah, until that fourth quarter where everything just went on and everything was just working for them. JJ McCarthy came to life. The defense, did its thing against Caleb all throughout the whole game. But Bro Talk does have some interesting snippets on what, we could be looking at, what Michael Penix is going to be looking at come this Sunday. But we're going to go back. We're going to take a quick trip down memory lane and look at some of the things that Atlanta was able to do last year in week 13, where Kirk Cousins, the quarterback at the time, was able to do against this vaunted Brian Flores defense. So we're gonna show you those, and we'll break those down as we go along. One thing that Minnesota did well was checkdowns, and we'll go to some Bijan runs from last year. So here we go.
Bijan Robinson off the left side with a cutback and a hole, and Bijan Robinson with a dozen.
Right there, we have a toss to the left and a cutback inside. We saw the Bears do that a couple times on Monday night. So in this game here, that's something to keep an eye on, I would say, if the Falcons want to reestablish their run and definitely take it to the heart of this defense. Now, the interior is makeshift. It's remade. Jonathan Allen is there. Javon Hargrave is there, who finished with 2 sacks, and Redmond from last year. So those are your 3 interior guys. Redmond last year kind of gave us fits in certain run stops, but predominantly Jonathan Allen and Hargrave known more for their pass rush ability than they are their run stuffing ability. But your take right quick on what you see Bijan in a set like that.
Yeah, it's the bread and butter, right? That's what we're known for. Outside zone. It was an outside zone run and blocking scheme with a toss, right? Get the ball in Bijan's hands as fast as possible. And, he's got great vision to where he's able, once he sees the cutback, he hits it really hard to where if it's Grenard, if it's Van Ginkel on the end that's playing contain, they can't get to him, right? And he's already to the second level. So it felt like we overused the duo and power scheme when it wasn't working against Avita Vea and Kaleja Cansey, and it just didn't feel like we were doing a whole lot of outside zone stuff. And it's not just it felt like it was always in a condensed formation. And it's not just
that was my phone.
And it's not just in a it felt like it was in a condensed formation instead of spreading them out a little bit more. Right? You want to run pistol? Well, run pistol and spread them out. That way the lanes do open up, and then a linebacker can be late or a safety can be late on a run, on the run fit in the C gap, whatever the case may be. Just make it look different. You hit that on, early on in the show. Just make it look different. It all looks the same. We said that last year in week 1. Patrick Queen was keying in. Oh, you know what? It's going right here. Run this way.
Run this way.
Anyways, that's all I got to say. I can keep going on.
No, that's cool. So we're going to go now to another Bijan run.
Fake to Robinson. Play action from Cousins over the middle. There's Mooney. Second time they've hooked up.
My apologies. That was a Darnell Mooney on a play action, something that we didn't do a lot last week, hoping that we, infuse that into the offense this week. Now, it brings up a good time to talk about the wide receivers for the Falcons. Yes, Drake London, to quote Raheem Morris, says, "I love the toughness. I expect him to play," but that's just his opinion. He doesn't know if that's a true stat that he is going to play. End quote.
So, indication for me, right? You got to look at the practices, the reports, right? Today was practice 1, practice 2 will be tomorrow, Friday. I think they'll practice again, or they're traveling. I can't remember. And then Saturday they may travel. I can't remember their dates, but the first 2 practices are key for Darnell and him. Right. Today, they were both limited participants. That's good. That That shows they are trending to play. If tomorrow they do not participate, then they're not going to play. Just already prepare yourself. They're not going to play. But if it's another limited participation, okay, now we feel even better that they're both going to play.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you got to look at.
Yeah, well, Darnell was that case last week. He participated on a limited basis all week, and then come Sunday, he was deemed inactive. Could you see that happening again with Darnell? Possibly, if he'll be a limited participant all the way up until game day, and then they'll shut him down. Do you see that happening, or do you feel like in week 2 now he's prime and ready to go?
Listen, I don't know if I said this on a previous show, but my source told me, because they've never come out and said it, is when Darnell got hurt, he fractured his collarbone and cracked. Okay, for those of you that have hurt your collarbone, that's it doesn't take a lot to break it, right, or crack it.
7 pounds of pressure. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. So this coaching staff, right, we're already prepared for him to miss more than one game. So it wouldn't surprise me if he misses this one. Do we need him? Yeah, absolutely. I think we need him.
Yeah.
Especially with Casey Washington being in concussion
God.
protocol, right?
Yeah.
We would be down 2 of our wide receivers. Now we're calling up a David Sills or whoever else, right? Chris Blair, whoever it is. But I would right now, my gut feeling is Drake plays, Mooney is out again. That's my gut feeling. I have not gotten word or confirmation from anyone. This is just solely my opinion and what I think is going to happen.
Okay, hence the reason that Mooney is all too important, because here's another clip, and this is the Falcons getting vertical on this vaunted Vikings defense, and they did have success last year when they had their opportunities, but again, it was when Mooney was there. You talked about Casey Washington not possibly being available as well, and Mooney, so a guy like Chris Blair, David Sills, as you mentioned, maybe even a Nick Nash, which I think Nick Nash would probably be the least of the candidates to come up. I think it would probably be Chris Blair, because he's been in the system already for 2 years. He's coming off back-to-back preseason games or years where he's been pretty good. 2 touchdowns this past preseason. Atlanta might give him a shot. They might want to go with him. But again, Chris Blair also limited in what he can do as a wide receiver. So it's all dicey, man.
I think it would be Chris Blair if he's called up, because we need more of a vertical threat. And that's what Chris is. Just run me a go, run me a clear out, or run me a post. That's all I need you to do, Chris. And he's good.
So we're going to take you to this clip right quick.
Minnesota brings it on 3rd down. Cousins, there's Mooney. The shot you were calling for.
And those there are verticals right on the hash, right in between, right inside of the numbers. And that will draw one-on-one coverage with a safety on a wide receiver, or depending what the look is. And Bro Talk's going to get into his bag and let you know the madness that Brian Flores is. But in the meantime, there are some opportunities. Now, when we talk inline, I think Kyle Pitts, right? I thought Kyle Pitts last week, in matchup favoritism with him and Savasier Dennis, even a Levante David. We just saw it too late. In this case here, if that's a calling, right? Minnesota's going in hobbled at linebacker. Andrew Van Ginkel might be out. We don't know the status. He has a concussion. He's in the concussion protocol. Blake Cashman, who had a fantastic game, a very active game on Monday night versus the Bears, he's probably going to be out. I think he has a hamstring injury, as you was mentioning. Big void. And I don't know if Metellus can stand one-on-one, dropping down consistently to match up 1v1 against Kyle Pitts. Your quick take on that. What do you feel?
Yeah, if you're going to, we talk about Chris Blair and his ability to go vertical. That's Kyle Pitts that's his, bread and butter. Whether it's in line or in the slot, just go vertical, man. Run the seam. And that's if you watch the Bears and Vikings game, the shot to Cole Kmet at the end, that was just a seam. Now, he faked a little bit of an out, but the defenders didn't bite on it. It was just a seam in a window that I think Penix has the arm strength to get it there, and he's more accurate than Caleb. I'm just saying. But there are those holes, right? In those 2 shell and those 4 shell, there are going to be a lot of holes.
There's a lot of voids in those,
To Bones' comment, right? Brian Flores likes to blitz a lot. Well, how do you stop a blitzing defensive coordinator? You start hitting them for big chunk plays and making them pay. Okay, you want to send 6 or 7? That's fine. My quarterback will hang in there and throw a dot and take 20 or 30 yards or even a touchdown.
I like it. I've even thought of the idea, right? We go through this whole offseason, the what if Kyle Pitts situation, and then we learned that he was playing the wide receiver, tight end role, yada, 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 an article that came out last year. Now we come into this year. I, at training camp, saw him, and a lot of my counterparts did as well, where Pitts was running wide receiver routes, doing drills with that team. Could this be a situation also where Kyle is called upon on the outside, and he's no stranger to being put on the outside? In 2021, he played on the outside, played 247 snaps as the X on the outside, and then he kicked in as a slot play, 289. So, we have versatility within Kyle. Could that also be a possibility for some mismatches? Isaiah Rodgers, one of their corners over there, I think he's an over-aggressive corner. And I think you could definitely make him pay in certain route concepts, because I don't think he's fully there. He's a starter. I think because of the losses that Minnesota had in their secondary, and this is a kid that could probably be a second or third stringer on most ball clubs, just not a number one. Not the number one corner. No. So there are things that could be exposed.
And you know what? Brian Flores' scheme probably helps him out, because they are sending pressure. So
yeah,
he's not the first read. He might be the last read. And so if he is trailing a little bit, he's able to catch up. That would be someone you could try and target and go against. I mean, what's it going to hurt to line Kyle up there? Nothing. Put it in your script.
Nothing at all.
Because then it's like, okay, Kyle's out there, but I have both linebackers mugging the line. They're in zone. They're in zone. Okay, that lets Michael know, okay, they're coming or they're bailing, right? Where are they going to bail to, right? If Bijan swings, that backer is probably going to clear out here, and then I have Drake on a quick slant. Those type of things are going through his mind. But if you line, right, the tight end, way out there, and there's not a linebacker or a safety over him, it's like, that's the telling tale, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Our next clip.
Cousins zips one. London. Drake London stays on his feet and gets a first.
These are the long routes that we need our receivers to run when those corners are matched up in their cover 2 scheme, or if they're playing quarters, just driving the route up and then breaking into the voids. You mentioned it just now. Those voids, those cover 2, those cover 4s. There will be voids. Can our receivers find those soft zones? Last year we were able to, right? But we were, guns blazing. We had everybody healthy. In an instance like that, that's exactly what we need to do. So that way Flores and company can soften up some of their looks and even some of their coverages. Flores is a guy that's very aggressive. If we start hitting targets in those soft areas, will that, allow him to have to switch up what he does naturally, which is blitz at all times? I mean, got to look at that, man.
Yeah, the good thing with Michael Penix is even if the receivers aren't settling, if he knows he wants to go to someone, he's really good at manipulating the guys with his eyes, right? The Commanders game last year, he manipulated the linebackers enough to move over, so he had a bigger window to throw it to Kyle. Those are the type of things he'll do, right? He'll create windows, because in his zone coverage, all of you, 99% of you those guys, if they're just dropping to a zone, they're looking at the quarterback's eyes. I'm going to float with the quarterback on where he's going. Now, if they have man match responsibilities, if they're keying 2-1, that becomes a whole different discussion. But if Mike is able to key in and just move that linebacker enough and turn back and hit, Brian Flores is going to have a long day.
We got a quick super chat, man. This is my guy right here. Where is he? Tom Brady is in the chat, folks, and he's donating to the channel. $2.79 worth. We certainly appreciate you, man. He is, he's a part of the NFC South Roundtable crowd. We definitely appreciate the donation. He says 28-3 got Christian's rival jersey stitch $300. Well, okay. Shout out to you, my
If you
brother.
win, I don't know, man. If you win, you might be doing that NBA draft lottery where you only have one ping pong ball and everyone else has 10. I don't know, man.
10, yeah, I don't know, man. All right, moving forward, man. You know, these routes here, and this one was particularly ran by Ray McLeod, and it's an option route of some sort, but here's the tape.
Only a 4-man rush, so Cousins has time. Over the middle, Ray McLeod, a sprint inside the 20.
Love those types of those routes and those concepts.
But here's the thing. The reason Kirk was able to get it was, did you see how much time he had?
He did. He had it. Yes.
You got to give him time,
everything.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Second week, this offensive line is going to play together. Tampa had Mike throwing that ball in under 2.5 seconds. Pressure was coming, so he knew he had to rip it off quickly. So can the Falcons protect? That's going to be crucial for something like this to happen, where you saw Kirk. He was navigating the field and no one was there. And Ray was like, oh, I'm going to go. And then Kirk saw him, hit him, and then he took off.
I would expect the Falcons' offensive line to really bounce back in this one. So
I hope so, man.
A so-so performance. I feel like, Dwayne Lefford's in everybody's ear, reminding these guys, yo, you guys are a fucking top 10 unit. Wake the fuck up. One player should not matter all this much, but evidently, in week one, it did, unfortunately. And, doesn't help that individual performance also didn't work. Vita Vea and Kalaji Kancey proved a lot.
They were,
to be a lot.
They were working those boys on Sunday.
Yes, they were, and Lindstrom, and that's something we're not accustomed to seeing from Lindstrom, getting owned. But even great ones sometimes have their moments. So hopefully these guys learn a valuable lesson, because there are going to be opportunities where they're gonna have to pass block for more than 3 seconds or more to get for route like concepts like this to come to fruition. And we can start, damaging that Vikings defense. And the last one I'll present to y'all before we go into the madness that is
Cousins down the sideline. Darnell Mooney's got it inside the 10, first and goal.
How critical is that play there? How critical will that be? Or a welcome addition for our offense on Sunday. I hate the fact that we're potentially not going to be all guns blazers, because their corners from last year I feel like we're better than what they have right now. I mentioned the name earlier, Isaiah Rogers, excuse me. That's probably one guy you want to target. And in a route concept like this, where it's just a go, we got to make these Vikings pay when those situations happen on 1v1s, man.
Yeah, that's where Darnell Mooney's missed, right? The vertical threat. Because, yes, Drake can get vertical, but he's not the most threatening guy speed-wise, right? You can count on him for a 50-50 ball. But speed-wise, it's Darnell. Or Ray. Ray's got the speed, right?
He does, yeah. Absolutely, man.
And Zach, anyways, keep going.
This guy's going to go in a rant. We're here for it, man. Bobby Means, what's going on? It's simple, man. If we don't put pressure on McCarthy, he will kill us. And we're going to now sprint into some of the things that the Bears were able to do to neutralize J.J. McCarthy and his supposed greatness on Monday night.
Yeah, supposed greatness. Okay, so I'm going to break this down for you guys. I have 2 Bears defensive plays, and then I have 2 Vikings defensive plays. The 2 Vikings defensive plays, I just want to show you guys what Brian Flores does to confuse quarterbacks, because I had to watch these clips 4 or 5 times to understand okay, what is this guy doing? What's he keying in? Because he's got so many moving parts. So let me share my screen. Maybe. Is it not going to show? You know what? I know what to do. Maybe. Please hold. Technical difficulties.
Oh, man. StreamYard has been StreamYarding today.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Before you go into that one, we got to shout out our girl right quick. Carrie, what is going on? Hey, Brother and Bro Talk. Ready for Sunday Night Football. Hope Penix gets his revenge. And shout out to Carrie. She brought the energy. She was live at the Benz on Sunday.
Yeah. All right. First play. Here we go. I don't have sound, guys. So if you guys remember, crucial 3rd down and 2. This was early in the game. They
actually
show
one of the
pressure. JJ has
Bang.
to read. He's got to step up. Pressure collapses, and it's a sack to start the game. Okay. Now, if you would, okay, this is what the Bears actually did. Okay. We do this a lot, right? We double mug both linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
Tremaine Edmonds, and it was I can't remember his last name. It's Penei Sewell's brother, the other Sewell's brother, the lesser of the two, right? He was filling in for TJ Edwards, right? So JJ sees 6 guys on the line. You know, for those of you that don't know, Dennis Allen is the defensive coordinator for the Bears. Traditionally, they are a 4-3 base defense. So when they go into nickel, they still have 4 linemen, 2 DTs, 2 DNs, and then they just sub out a linebacker for the nickel back. And all it was a straight cover 3. But what JJ's looking at, right, he's looking for the quick throw, his first window. This is what they're running. Okay, you got a little bit of mesh concept with Justin Jefferson, try and free him up in space. TJ Hawkinson running a clear out sail, corner route, whatever you want to call it. And then Thielen's running a dig. Well, JJ looks right. There's nothing there because this Tremaine Edmonds drops into the window here. Then he looks in the middle. There's nothing there because Thielen hasn't broken out. And then he panics. And then he tries to take off. And that's where it's going to be real crucial for everyone to have their rush lanes. Everyone needs to have their rush lanes in check because if you get too far up the field, right, what did Baker Mayfield do to us? He killed us with his legs.
Killed us, man.
Now, we almost got to him, right? He was able to slip by it, but we need to rally in those instances and get him down on the ground. This is something in Jeff Ulbricht's wheelhouse, except he would probably send Divine Diablo and just have Caden Ellis maybe run a cover 6, quarter half. The cover 3 would look different, but it would still be enough to confuse a young quarterback for J.J. McCarthy because, yes, does he have Kevin O'Connell to help him? Yes.
Yeah.
But when it's time to get on the field, he doesn't have Kevin O'Connell. He has Kevin O'Connell in the meeting room and then on the sideline and in his helmet for the first 15 seconds, right, or first 30 seconds of the play clock. But when it comes to actually diagnosing what he sees, and if Jeff Ulbricht's able to throw in new wrinkles, new looks, right, to still confuse him or send more pressure. Remember, left tackle, this is a backup left tackle that's not very good. Now, if Darisaw plays, okay, we may have to send 5 or 6, right? But also then we have to be prepared for those quick throws. Obviously, Jay Jetta's on a little mesh concept. If he gets it in space, we know how special he is.
Yeah.
So this is that chess game that Ulbricht is going to be playing with Kevin O'Connell, right?
But the Bears were able to keep Jettas in check. And last year, you know, Terrell had success with him until, you know, they started moving him around.
So when the Bears started falling apart is when they started playing a lot of man coverage because Justin Jefferson, he's one of the best route runners in the league. He's going to find an opening, and JJ knows if he's got man coverage because they would motion a lot to indicate, okay, right? The indicator, right? Is there a follower or not? Or is it just the defensive alignment shifting? Is it the player following? Okay, Justin Jefferson likely has man coverage. So what does JJ McCarthy? I almost said Mike. What does JJ McCarthy do? He's staring one way, JJ's way. And if you can bait the young quarterback that way, good things can happen.
Dude, that's such a KOC thing, learning from Kyle. Kyle used to do that a lot, putting certain players in motion just to read defensive coverages, just to say, oh, you're in this alignment. All right, I'm going to hit you with this. But JJ, he's not advanced enough yet to make that determination. Like you mentioned, he has KOC in his headset or in the meeting room, but not on the field. It's all different when you're on that field. And Ulbricht, you know, he has you want to call it a tough task, right? Because now you have to make this supposed rookie or, you know, second-year player look exactly like that and not advance in any way, because Atlanta has done that in times of the past, man. You know, we go against these quarterbacks that shouldn't shine, and they fucking do. You know, I hope Sunday night it's a different tale. You mentioned something about Christian Darisaw, who was not available. He's working his way back from a torn ACL last year. I don't know if you saw, but James Pierce Jr. came up with a groin injury, and he was limited in today's practice.
I ain't worried about it.
Okay.
I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it.
Gotcha. All right. I'm going to ride
Not
with
yet,
you,
at least. Not yet, at least.
Okay.
right? Not yet, at
he's full
least.
participant tomorrow, then okay,
If he's
we're
full
good.
participant by the final, like where you have to give game day designations, I ain't worried
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah. And, we talk about mobility, and JJ McCarthy showed up plenty on Monday night. One thing that concerns me in this one is the edges, right? How can Arnold Ebiketie, Leonard Floyd contain these guys? And I felt like and more often than not, Baker was able to pick up those crucial first downs because the containment wasn't all there. And we also got away from the spy situation. There was one play where Baker tried, and Caden was right there just waiting for him.
So
We need to watch out with that because the mobility that JJ possesses.
So yes, because there were a couple times Divine would be on a rush, assimilated pressure where he couldn't get there right away. So what did he do? He just
Mm-hmm.
watched. He
Yep.
watched Baker, and then he'd go. Once he saw Baker was rolling out, boom, I'm going after him, and
Yeah.
that's what he did. And a couple times he forced Baker to throw it away. So that's the type of things we need to see. JJ's young. Baker's always been known as this slippery guy in the pocket.
Yeah.
That can I hate saying it because you guys know how I feel about him, but the facts are the facts. He's slippery in the pocket, and if you don't bring him down, he's going to find a way to break free and find an open receiver.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with you can't put it past a rookie to do something similar, right?
Yeah.
Could he make a mistake? Yes, he could, right? Because he's young. He's trying to keep his team out of trouble. Maybe he tries to throw it, he fumbles it, maybe he throws an interception, or he just throws it away. It's intentional grounding. Whatever the case may be, as long as we can force him to make mistakes, that's good for us.
Great point. And I got to bring this up. Could this Falcons scheme, which took Cade Otton out of the equation, have the same success with TJ Hawkinson? Now, let's keep in mind, right? The receivers for Minnesota aren't what they were last year, right? Adam Thielen is back on the team, but Adam Thielen was a goose egg in the stat department, right? It was all on Jay Jettas. Addison is obviously out, but in the game against the Bucks, we held Mike Evans in check, but it was Emeka Ibuka who kind of chopped us up. I don't see no other viable option. Naylor is not that type of receiver for the Vikings.
He's not.
Could Ulbrich go unnaturally for what he likes to do and be aggressive, but be a little bit more conservative, so he takes away the throwing lanes and force JJ into the mistakes that we felt our defense could have capitalized last week. 5-8 INTs.
So if he's staring down his receivers, right? These are the type of things they look at in film, right? Quarterback tendencies. Is he looking off a linebacker to get to a certain window? Is he staring down his receiver until he feels comfortable to throw it on a break? If he, has an underneath guy, if you force JJ to try and layer a throw, that's where the mistakes could possibly happen, because he hasn't shown, even in college, that he can layer throws like a Baker Mayfield or a Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, like the top guys. And I'm not saying, JJ has to be a top guy, but those are the type of throws NFL quarterbacks have to make. You have to be able to layer it over a defender. And something that I didn't see a lot of was tight window throws. It was a lot of, I feel like he's going to be open. Yes, the statistic, the touchdown to Justin Jefferson, could you classify as a tight window? Maybe, because the safety ended up peeling off of his guy. But was it really? It's subjective. So if he takes away Justin Jefferson off the rip and forces him to start actually navigating the field, what happens to a quarterback that holds the ball way too long? Unless you're Jalen Hurts behind the Eagles' offensive line. The rush gets there. And that's where the good things start happening, right? Your first-round picks start making plays.
Didn't you take Jalen Hurts in fantasy football?
I sure did. Top 5 fantasy football quarterback, just not actually top 5 in the NFL when it comes to playing the position. Just saying.
I had to sneak that one in.
That's fine. It's all a strategy, man. I'm trying to win the championship. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, I got you, man. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Hey, Rod, funny you bring that one up, because that's what this play is here.
We appreciate
Let's take a look at it. Right? Drops back. He's got a little bit of protection. You see that? Hold on.
The hesitation.
You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Watch JJ. He drops back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Most quarterbacks will drive off that back foot, but watch it. Back. Oh, that little stutter. And then he drives. You can't always get away with that.
No.
Is that considered a tight window throw?
No.
Yes. Well, yes,
really?
technically.
Yeah.
Because there are two defenders there. He had to get it over the linebacker, right? Aaron Jones
all
had
right.
to wait on it.
Yep.
Right? But
and some of those instances there too, that could cause the quarterback to underthrow the ball too, and lead to a
like that. To me, is not good footwork. Once you hit your drop, it's a step up and throw, not a tap tap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't even look like he's really driving off this back leg.
It looks like he's driving off the front leg, like all of that motion going forward. Yeah.
He was considered a raw quarterback, right?
Yeah.
He's showing his rawness, right? And we have to capitalize on that. So let's look at what was actually done. Let's see.
Zach should just steal this play and hit Bijan on the vertical route. I like that. I think we might see that.
So
in
this
some way.
So this is cover 2 with match man responsibilities. Okay. So you've got the 2 high safeties, you got the corners, and the reason they're drawn up this way is they have to squat. Okay. If this receiver were to run inside, they let them go. Okay. But if they go vertical, they carry. Okay. That's what that's showing. If he goes vertical, he carries them. Okay. These linebackers have these areas, but they're also keying in. Okay. There's technically trips to the side, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. He's got 1, unless he goes inside. If number 2 goes out, he goes. If number 3 goes out, he goes, right? So what happens? Exactly that, right? Justin Jefferson, vertical. This corner goes, the safety's bracketing him. Naylor goes vertical, right? It's a post, vertical. This corner clears out with him. This safety actually doesn't bite. He's not concerned.
No, he's not concerned, right?
He's not concerned about the post. What ends up happening is TJ Hawkinson runs a quick out, so that carries Tremaine Edmonds. Aaron Jones runs what looks like an out, like in the flat, but then he gets vertical on a wheel route. So guess what? Sewell drives, but then has to trail and climb. That's why he's behind Aaron Jones. He gets in a bind because Aaron Jones sells the flat and then converts it into a wheel. And so that's where Divine Diablo, this would be Divine Diablo.
That would be his spot. Yep.
That would be Divine Diablo, former safety, right? So Kaden Ellis would drive on the tight end. Divine Diablo would then carry. Bigger body, right? How tall is Divine Diablo?
He's 6'3".
6'3". Sewell, I'm pretty sure, is only 6 foot, 6'1". Does it make a difference? I don't know. But if Divine puts his arms up, you've got Jesse Bates or Xavier Watson, something like this. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Or if they're in cover 3, they just happen to be in a match concept, right? So he goes, and the safety does a good job not biting on the post because that's what Kevin O'Connell wanted. He wanted him to get on the post, but he didn't. But he was late. That's the problem.
And we have 2 willing safeties that are very opportunistic. And, Xavier Watts last week had a hell of a game.
He did.
He had a good game. I know he's kicking himself in the ass for those 2 dropped INTs or would be. But needless to say, the Rook came. He showed up. He showed up, and I was glad to see that. And you saw sometimes, big brother moment where Jesse was coaching him up in certain situations, just instilling that confidence back in him. So great to have, man.
The communication between the 2 was very impressive.
Just off of one game, oh my God, it just outmatched the lapses that we had last year. And we had 2 Pro Bowlers back there, and Justin and Jesse. It felt like they could never get on the same page.
Yeah.
But
yeah, times are different. All right, so now
sure.
I am going to switch gears to now. I'm going to show you what Brian Flores could throw at us. Okay, this man. Okay, on this play, just watch. Right, look at all this. Look at this. What are they going to do? If it'll play. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Here we go.
Live TV for you, baby.
Right. The motion. There's a shift.
It's the shift. Yep. Everybody's dropping back.
This is where Caleb did it. Caleb did his little blunder, right?
He did his Marcus Mariota.
His Caleb mistake, right? So let me show you what actually happened.
Damn right, Eric.
So all it was a too high shell with 3 robbers and 2 underneath, but it had what looked like palms.
Palms coverage, you said?
Yeah, palms coverage. So the corners are looking at number 2, right? So the corner is actually looking at number 2. If he goes out, then he looks to number 1 going vertical. Same thing here. Number 2 goes out, and if number 1 goes vertical, then he carries him. The difference is this motion, what ends up happening going over here is why the safety ends up rotating down, and then their keys are a little bit different. But they're showing 7 right here. They've got 7 on the line, and they end up dropping 7. And this is what the Bears end up running, right? The motion here, DJ Moore is running a deep over. You have a tight end. If you have Kyle Pitts doing this, okay, right? Because he's faster than Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland, right? Running a post. Then you have Zacchaeus just running a little under route. This is simple stuff. This is where Michael can hit the windows, because where is the window going to be? Right here, right? It's going to be somewhere in here, or it's going to be just in the flat. The problem is that a lot of the flat routes that Caleb ended up checking to, instinctually, the corners, Isaiah Rodgers and Byron Murphy, were crashing on those hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, I just feel like they didn't feel threatened deep enough to stay deep, right?
Yeah,
that's why they were coming crashing hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that, this is my favorite one that Brian Flores deployed. Hold on one second. There we go.
It's just the madness that Brian Flores brings in his disguises.
Dude,
it looks all out, but then everybody just starts dropping back, and that's enough to confuse anybody, man. Any quarterback, man.
Yes. Hold on one second. Here we go. That's what I needed.
Shout out one time for the fan in the chat. Yo, smash that like button, y'all. Appreciate the shout out, man. One time for the fan.
Okay.
Please go visit them on YouTube and hit that subscribe button.
If you didn't watch this game live, please pay attention. Watch what happens.
Bale. Oh my God. Thing of beauty, man.
Right? There's the flat, and what did I say? Driving on it.
Driving it. Yep.
Driving on it. It was 4th down and 5. He only gets 3 yards. They're short. But what
it's crazy. Dude.
I laugh, right? I laugh because this is what they end up doing. They have 8 on the line. They only send 4, and all it is cover 2 man with a robber. That's all it is. You have Metellus here, who then shifts over here to guard the tight end. Odunze runs across. So what does Byron Murphy do? He runs across. It's just man.
That's all it is.
It's all it is. But Brian Flores is known to run zero, cover 0.
Cover 0, yep.
You have to be worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be worried about it, and you have to think about it. But showing 8 and only rushing 4.
It's safe to say that, from any look, Brian can send the house at any time, at any point.
Yeah. And then this is what they ran. So because this corner has Zacchaeus, and look at the depth, this post doesn't bother them.
No.
He's going to come up, and he's going to hug that hip. Same thing. DJ Moore just runs a go. This doesn't.
Bro, Rod just said it right here.
What's that? Romo Dunze, DJ?
Yeah. They didn't scare Flores to play deep. So
the only player, DJ Moore had 1 completion, I think, for 20 yards. I think it was 5 yards a yak.
Yep.
Okay. And then Cole Kmet at the end had a 25-yard catch up the seam. That was it. Yeah. But at the same time, guys, Caleb Williams, he got antsy and wouldn't be on time. And you could see Ben Johnson's face on the sideline, just like, we talked about this, how you have to be on time. You hit your 3rd or 5th step, boom, boom, go.
Mm.
What does Bone say?
He says one way to mess with the defense that likes to do a bunch of post-snap rotations is to constantly change the snap count on them, which is true. Never let them get comfortable knowing when to start rotating. That's an excellent point.
That's part of the chess match, but it comes down to the coaches.
Yep.
What are the coaches doing? Right? Hey, we're going to run every play on 2 until I say otherwise. Wide 80, wide 80. Right?
There it is.
Wide 80, wide 80. And it's like, don't move. And then you go, hut. And then you snap it. Well, and guess what? That rotating safety or rotating linebacker, guess what? They're late. Because they're like, I don't want to give it away too early what we're going to do.
My God. Line of the night right here.
This is a family-friendly show, Eric. This is a family-friendly show. But if I, hey, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity. Hey, Ryan Poles, you remember when you laughed at Terry for drafting Michael Penix Jr.?
Hello.
Well, I bet you wish you drafted Michael Penix Jr. Or, hey, right. I bet you wish you drafted Drake May or Jaden Daniels for that matter. Hell, even Bo Nix could probably be on time. Or sure J.J. McCarthy for that matter. I think.
We're not going to pipe JJ right now, are we?
No.
We're not going to.
No. But I will say,
to your
Ryan Poles, we thought you won the trade with the Panthers, but it looks like you both are losers right now.
Right now. As it is. I know, man. Jesus, both organizations. Oh, man.
Yeah, so the Falcons have their work cut out for them. They have to be in the film room. Michael has to be on point with his guys. It's going to be crucial. I think, we have an uphill battle. But if Drake and Mooney aren't playing, well, that got even tougher because it's Brian Flores, man. And some people are saying this defense got better, which I find hard to believe. They'll be down some guys. So, if Harrison Smith doesn't play, but it looks like the guy that was filling in for him did just fine. It's Brian Flores, right? You got to be ready. You can't go into this like, yes, we can win, but we know it's going to be a battle.
Gotcha. All right, so we're coming up on the end of the show. We got about 3 minutes left. We'll go a little bit over if we have to. Got to go into our last 2 segments. This is where we want you, the fans, to chime in and join in and let us know what you're feeling, what you think. We're going X factors first, offense and defense, and then we'll trickle that into score predictions. So, Bro Talk, I'll start with you, man. Your X factors going into this game on Sunday night.
Well, it seems only fitting that I did the defensive coordinator last week, that I do the offensive coordinator this week. My X factor is you, Zach Robinson. I need a more well-scripted game plan that just flows with everything going on. Utilize your weapons in many different ways. You talked about opening up the playbook, but I didn't see any of that last Sunday. I saw a lot about a rinky-dink stuff that was very predictable. And going up against a vet play caller like Brian Flores with the talent they have across the front, linebackers and safeties, wake up. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. So, Zach Robinson, for you offensively, what you got defensively now? Got to give you a defensive X factor. What you got?
Oh, defensive X factor. I think I'm going to put on the whole defensive front. You got to get pressure on the young quarterback. There's not one because they rotate so heavily, right? We saw Floyd, we saw AK, we saw James, we saw Jalen, we saw Root, Brandon, Zach. Like everyone just needs to tee off. You have a rookie left guard, Donovan Jackson. He's no joke. He's legit. If that left tackle, if Darisaw is still out, you gotta take advantage of a backup left tackle, especially going up against practice squad players and not looking the part and giving up pressures. And then Ryan Kelly, Wolf Fries, they have chemistry there, but still, like they gave up pressure up the middle. You can give up pressure. How will Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason hold up in pass protection when Divine Diablo is coming or Caden Ellis? We saw Caden put Aaron Jones to work last year in sacking Sam Darnold. The same could happen this year. So it's just a matter of taking advantage along the front. You got to get to the young quarterback. Do not give him time because like any other quarterback, they can torch you because Coverage can only last so long.
So on the defensive side, for me, we talked about him. I talked about him exclusively on Bleacher Report for a good little bit, and that's our newfound success in Divine Diablo. Sure, it was just one game, but off that one game, he was able to show us what this Falcons team thought they drafted when they took Troy Anderson in the second round, a tall, rangy, sideline to sideline speed linebacker. And obviously, Troy has not proven any of that, but Divine has in just one game. I feel like, Divine could be an X factor in this game due to pass rushing ability if he's allowed to show that in this game, but more so his spy and the windows where Zach might need him in pass coverage ability. To take more windows away from JJ McCarthy and just give him an even more limited feel. So I'll go Divine Diablo for this one. On offense, I talked about him in the top of the stream, and that's you, sir, Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts worked a lot as a wide receiver this past off season, but I need to see more, and I need to see Zach, to your point, wanting to see Zach do more with this offense. What more can you do with Kyle Pitts in this game, with our potential number one and number two maybe not being available? You gotta start, spreading out that responsibility more so this week, because if we are limited, you're gonna have to spread that ball out effectively. Not just the Bijan, not just the Tyler, or whomever you call up, maybe Chris Blair, but you got to get Kyle Pitts going and infusing this offense. You did it last week, but you did it a minute too late. Where I would have loved to seen if he was a contributing factor from the gate, from the start of the game, how different this game would have been. Because for us losing Mooney and how critical that proved to be, obviously, Tampa Bay neutralizing Drake. Can that happen if Kyle Pitts starts going off? How does that pressure Brian Flores to go away from certain looks that we saw him throw at Caleb Williams in that Monday night win? So for me, on offense is Kyle. On defense is Divine
El
Diablo.
Diablo.
El Diablo himself, man. And now score predictions, man. Oh, Millie Mills, man. Gotta shout you out, brother, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. Where you at, brother? Where are you? I just saw you, man. Here we go. Millie Mills, they might really come on here, Bird. What's good, Brody? All is good, my brother. Hope all is well with you. Long time no see. Let me hit the sub on this joint. We appreciate that so much, man. If you can, man, 95 No Falcons Talk Show and at Dirty Bird Central. We greatly appreciate it, my family. And X Factors is that one. And now we go to score predictions. Don't be shy, fans. Don't be shy, man. Speak from your heart. Speak from your chest, man. Let's go. What you got? What you got? What you got?
You know what? Even though the defense played really well last week, my gut says this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But in the end, I do think it's between the two quarterbacks, Michael Penix or J.J. McCarthy. And I like Michael Penix over J.J. McCarthy. Sure, people are going to be like, well, they have Kevin O'Connell, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, guess what? We have the aura man, the swag man, the do-rag wearing man, Penix Jr., and he wants his get back for losing the national title. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, man.
Give me the Falcons 37-31.
Wow.
I told you, high scoring.
Hold on.
What?
Wow. Yo.
Whoa, my chair almost broke.
You guy. You couldn't believe your own self on that one. Holy crap, dude. That's out there. Media out here with wet mouth over this motherfucker. Bro, they're glazing JJ so bad, man. They really are. Oh boy. Now, if you folks follow me, on Roundtable Sports, I did pick against the Falcons, unfortunately, yesterday. And
hey,
kind of gotta stick to that, man.
It's fine. That's fine. We are a Falcon-based show, but we are subjective. And I personally think we can win. But let me hear what you got. What's the score?
For me, it's 27-20. I'll go Vikings on that one. I think the Falcons will lose on a touchdown. And it's solely because can Zach Robinson actually get out of his own ass or out of his own way in week 2? The amount of pressure that he's going up against with Flores, is it going to be enough for him to, systematically get in his bag and do things different? I don't know. We can sit up here and talk a good game and give different options and perspectives on what can go right, but ultimately is on the coach and the player to orchestrate. Now, while Penix can do everything under the stars and sun, man, I just don't know if Zach can elevate Penix to another week one performance like last week. I don't know, man. So I don't want to sound, unbiased, but I have to, like you mentioned, man. We're realistic at the end of the day too, man. So I unfortunately see the Birds dropping this one,
You know what?
27-20.
You know what? Last year, going into the Eagles game, I actually picked the Eagles to win. And you picked the Falcons.
Yo, but hold on. Hey, CJ, and yo, on everything I love, bro. Before the show started, I told Bro Talk this. But going into this game, it does give me that week 2 vibe last week where Atlanta was not favored or picked to go into Lincoln Financial Field and get a victory over Philadelphia in their turf. Now, could they do it against the Vikings? I mean, anything is possible, but with so many odds stacked against us, in my opinion, I don't know if we can. But CJ, I appreciate that, man.
It just has Penix played in prime time. Yes, we played Sunday Night Football against the Commanders. Remember, we lost in overtime.
A game that was flexed.
A game that was flexed. That's right.
They know the vibes, man.
Hello.
Let's see what we got going on. Hold up. I gotta get into the thing. Ski, what's what it do, man? He said pumpkin pie and Bro Talk. What it do, fellas? That
What?
would be me. Pumpkin pie, bro.
Oh.
Get it right, baby. That's right. Craig goes on to say 35-17 Falcons win 1-1. Wow.
You know what? If it's gonna be a victory, if it's a back and forth game, and a coach is able to adjust, the Vikings coaches are known to adjust. But if we can blow them out of the gate, like get ahead, like we should have against Tampa, if we can get ahead and get them off their script, okay, now we feel good. But if it's neck and neck, man, I just need a game where my blood pressure stays down.
Fact, man. Jesus, man. I was on edge all game. And I didn't live stream either, and I should have, because I had a lot of raw reaction from that game. A lot of what the fucks and shit like that. But, well, tune in Sunday night. I'll be live streaming. But here we go. CJ says 27-17. Our guy Millie Mills says 24-17. I'm assuming that's the Falcons. Ski goes on to say 28-16 Falcons. I like it. Brad Johnson. We have Brad Johnson in the comments here, former Tampa great Viking quarterback as well. He goes 31-17 Vikes. Okay, can't be mad at that. Let me see. Our Emmer 33 says, are London and Mooney gonna go? They're probably gonna take that right up until game time.
Yep.
You know, with any indication coming out tomorrow in reference to if they don't practice at all, then it's slim pickings for Sunday night, man. Eric goes to say, why can't I bring up Eric's comment? What is going on here? What happened to Eric's comment? It disappeared.
This one?
Yeah. 28-3 Falcons. Eric.
It's all good. According to sports media, JJ is the second coming of Jesus. Apparently so.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
One
all
good
right.
quarter of the first game of your career. That
That's
also wins
crazy.
you NFC Player of the Week.
I guess, man. Last one here. Coolin E. Roberts, man. 30-20 Dirty Birds. Okay, man. Okay. We love it, man. Hey, man, it's been a great show. 505 of you guys tuned in. We certainly do appreciate it. Week in and week out, you know, the viewerships are growing. I just want to take a quick moment to thank everybody who made last week's show an incredible show, man. Almost 3,000 views on that live, man. We certainly do appreciate it. Just want to tell you, man, there's no other content creating group that's doing what myself and Bro Talk are doing. So you can try all you want to do, but this is where it originated. So thank you so much for trying in this space. We certainly do appreciate it. And shout out to everybody that does it too, man. What the hell is that?
It's a copycat league, man.
Oh, baby.
You got to copy someone. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, brother. 7:30 Breezy. 28-27 Falcons MPJ is mad. All right, man. All right. April Thomas, known as Ron Thomas, 41-17. A lot of blowouts here, man.
It's all good.
It's all good. No, I mean,
yeah,
he picked the Falcons, but
yeah,
high scoring. Yeah, well, hey, man, I love it. But again, Bro Talk, let's end it, man. Where can the folks find you? Lead them to where you're at, man.
Short form content, as always, on TikTok at Dirty Bird Central. Not just Falcons, but NFL as a whole. If you like NFL predictions, I'm your guy there, as well as film breakdown, not only Falcons, but everyone else. As well as YouTube Shorts. If you like them there, I upload them there as well as Instagram, always at Dirty Bird Central. At Dirty Bird Central also gets you long form content, all 22 breakdown. Life got busy for me this week, so I wasn't able to drop that this week. But hey, we'll be back at it next week with Vikings breakdown, win or loss. We take a look at what the Falcons did right and wrong. Usually I pick a subject. This week I was going to try and talk about the coverage. We'll see what the Falcons do on Sunday. That makes me pick what we go over. And then at Twitter, because I'm still at BK2 because I don't know what to say. I keep saying I'm dragging my feet. At BK2 daily tweets, not just Falcons, but NFL as a whole. Also some personal thoughts. Hey, for those of you anime lovers like myself, Demon Slayer this Friday night. Demon Slayer. I'm going. Are you?
Oh boy. All right. So that leaves it up to me, man. I'm your boy Berto, host of the 95 North Falcons talk show, and also your other half of Reporting Eligible. Also, we greatly appreciate it. You can find me on both on that platform, 95 North Falcons talk show. You can also find me on Bleacher Report Monday through Thursday, dropping short form content, and at every post game reaction show immediately as the Falcons go final. I'm on Bleacher Report breaking it down, and you can also find me on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m., the NFC South Round Table. I'm on there trying to hold my own.
Y'all need to go in there. Y'all need to go in there because they like to gang up on Berto.
Oh, bro,
so we need to get in the chat and get in there and help him out.
Brother. It's bad, man. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. We can never satisfy the other fan bases, and that's okay to be the villain. And that's okay. But that's another spot that you can find me on, NFC South Roundtable, part of the Roundtable Sports family. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button on 95 North Falcons Talk Show and at Dirty Bird Central. We will give you what's left of this Wednesday evening back to you, folks. We thank you so much. Catch us next week live, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, live for another edition of Reporting Eligible. And until then, enjoy Sunday Night Football. Peace.
Sunday Night Football. I forgot.